we have had a really good run of games. So good, as a matter of fact, if we do fairly well the last 2 games of the season, we're not playing European football, we're playing Champions League football. My name is FM21, and this is the Red Devils Rising. Which I recorded last night. We're going to switch to that here in just a second, but first I wanted to show you all the results. We drew with Bayer 1-1. I think that was the last game. Yeah, that was the last game we watched because it was BVB and Bayer. We beat RB Leipzig 3-0. Pligri brace of goals. Conor Gallagher a goal. We beat Wolfsburg 3-2. Dustin Bloom a goal. Dustin Bloom a goal in the first minute. Mutno a goal. De Graco a goal. This game wasn't as close as it looked because they got a 91st minute goal to make the score look actually a bit closer than it actually was. Wolfsburg didn't put up much of a fight. I mean, they had 17 shots, 5 on target. They were really scattershot. They played a really compact formation, and we just absolutely abused them on the wings. As you can see, 85% pass completion rating. They beat us statistically almost everywhere. But at the end of the day, it really didn't matter. Against Eintracht Frankfurt, we got absolutely spanked. 4-1, Pligri a goal, and it was just not a close game at all. Everybody had kind of a poor game. Against Mainz, we beat them. I'm looking at the totally wrong thing. Good grief. Against Eintracht Frankfurt, we beat them 4-2. That's what threw me off, because it's Wolfsburg, Eintracht Frankfurt, Mainz. Good grief. So against Eintracht Frankfurt this last time around, we beat them 4-2. A hat-trick's worth of goals by Marco de Graca, including one in extra time. And Conor Gallagher gave us the victory against Mainz. This was a banger of a game. We lost 5-3. But Conor Gallagher was sent off in the 61st minute. And then they got a goal in the 83rd minute, a goal in the 87th minute to put them ahead, and then a goal in the 95th minute. That was just salt in the wound more than anything else. The fact that we hung in there, even after Gallagher got sent off, if he hadn't got sent off, I think we would have done a really good job. They still had 25 shots, 10 on target. Decker ended up on a 6-4, but he probably deserved a little bit higher score. Against FC Bayern, we drew thanks to a Twazi goal in the 38th minute. This was one of those games where it seemed neither side really wanted to win. We had more shots, but less on target. Well, we had 18 shots, 5 on target. They had 9 and 4. And we had our chances. We just could not make the most of them. But that said, as a result of those games, we are currently tied for 5th place. And we are 2 points behind 4th place and 3 points behind 3rd place. So the battle is for 3rd through 7th. It's possible we could finish in 7th place. It's possible we could finish in 3rd place. A lot of things are going to have to go right for that to happen. So what we are going to do now, before we go to the Freiburg match, is transition over to the youth intake. We had a couple good youngsters come in, and I may have poached, well, it cost me a decent sum of money in one case, a youngster or two off another team. Back in a bit. I knew I was forgetting something. We had our youth intakes, and I saw them come in and looked at them and thought, wow, some of these guys are really, really good. They really have potential. And then I realized I haven't recorded this part. Way to go, Jellicoe. Maybe Sunday League YouTuber, not semi-pro by any stretch of the imagination. So we are going to look at those who are 3-star potential and better. The first is Philemon Schuler. He is a midfielder, defensive center back, 1-star, half-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. 16 years old. Jumping reach is nice. Natural fitness is nice. Everything else is not. The composure is nice. The passing, the tackling, the technique are nice. Holy cow. He would really have to improve in a lot of areas, especially some of his physicals. Sandro Campos. Defensive midfielder, defensive center back, defensive right back, 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Physically, 15 years old, already better than the previous guy we just looked at, Schuler. Mentally, not too bad. The 5 vision is a bit of a bummer, but again, 15 years old, 12 determination, 11 concentration. Technically, not so great, but again, 15 years old. 13 tackling already, 7 marking. He's got some potential. I think we would sign him to a contract. Eric Rossner, 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, advanced midfielder on the right, also can play striker. Decent acceleration and agility, nice natural fitness, 12 pace is not bad. The 5 strength is a bit of a bummer. The 2 bravery, the 4 deterrent, oh good grief. And technically, he's a little bit better than average, I would say. 8 crossing, 11 dribbling, 11 first touch, 8 passing, 10 technique. At 15 years old, you know what? We're going to sign him. We'll stick him in a couple of mentor groups, see if we can't get the determination and bravery and whatnot up, and go from there. And then last but not least, Felix Umph, 1-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, defensive midfielder. Physically, okay. Mentally, the 5 determination is a bit on the low side, but everything else is very, very nice, including, 14 work rate, 11 vision, 17 teamwork, 18 bravery, 11 composure. Technically, he's not bad. I mean, yeah, it's single digits for the most part, but at 15 years old and a stash like that, are you kidding me? 11 passing, 15 technique, definitely has a future here. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to is it here? Yeah, it's here. We'll sign the recommended players. Okay. Meanwhile, George is going nuts because there's something going on outside in addition to the dog hair that keeps floating around everywhere. So I'm going to go take a look at that, and we will be back here in just a bit. One of the things that makes the last few weeks in game kind of surprising is that we're missing some decent players. Pietro Pellegrini is out the rest of the season. It says 7 days and 2 weeks. We have 2 games left. He's not going to be back. Eldon Thaki was out. Hamza Ben Nasser is out. Yilmaz is out. Pellegrini's out. Thaki's out. Swiderski was out for a little bit with food poisoning. That was kind of back and forth. Ben Nasser's out with sprained ankle ligaments. Skip was out for a week. Swiderski was out again. Fliccioli, Soro, things like that. We've got players. Oh, Skip is suspended for too many yellow cards. And we had a couple other players suspended because of too many yellow cards as well. So this is the team we're starting today. We got Decker in goal, Fliccioli, Beshker, Jamelka, Michael Hollis is the defensive back 4, Gallagher and Swiderski as the midfielders, Helen Twazi's attack midfielders. We got to switch Mutno to Graka up top as the strikers. That's where we're going. So a couple good results would be nice. If we can get 3 points, 3 points from the next 2 games, I think we're setting ourselves up really well. Oh, I totally forgot. Mutno gets by the defender, centers it to Degraki. He scores. I was doing an experiment earlier, and I put the commentary on... I put the highlights just on commentary. Magahalas on the throw-in. Twazi. This is Swiderski. Fliccioli. Oh, powers it, but it went over the crossbar. It looked like somebody got a head on it and knocked it over. Leinert. Up to Gill. Centers it to Santa Maria. Back to Tassar. To Gill. Up to Chang Hoon. Santa Maria to Kunde. Back to Tassar. All the way out to Cone. He gets it up to Zhang. Dispossessed, gets it back, gets it over San Maria. Kunde's there, but it's knocked away by Beshker. That was a good defensive play by the defensive center back. Mutno runs down the loose ball, dispossessed by Gill. Somebody's been off. Gill's been dismissed for the lunge on Mutno. That can only help us. Degraka intercepts that, gets by the defender. Over to Gallagher. Back out to Fliccioli on the left. He holds it up, crosses it. No, sends it back out to Gallagher. Swiderski to Gallagher. Swiderski to Gallagher. They're walking right over each other. What the hell's going on, guys? Swiderski up to Held. Feeds Fliccioli, who totally blasts it high and right. Guys, come on. Let's take off that and do that. And that is the half. We are up 1-0 thanks to a Degraka goal in the 4th minute. They are a man down thanks to Gill getting set off on a straight red in the 98th. Good grief, in the 28th. Alderete to Tassar to Santa Maria. Kunde over to Zhang. Gallagher steps in front of him, dispossesses him. Swiderski back to Decker. Over to Jamelka. Out to Magahalis. Twazi feeds to Graka. Takes the shot, and he totally blows it by the keeper for the kickoff highlight goal. It's a nice pass by Twazi. Sailor on the throw-in. Dispossessed. To Graka. Crosses it out to Montano. Baseline dispossessed by Cone. Magahalis is going to recover that. Swiderski. Out to Fliccioli. Dispossessed by Sailor, but he's going to get that back. Centers it in, knocked away by Leinert. Kunde's going to rush up and get that. De Graka intercepts him. Held. De Graka. Oh, just wide right. That would have been a very nice goal. A little bit past 65 minutes in. Let's get a couple of players off. Bring Jamelka off. Bring on Dressel. Going to get held off and bring on Dustin Bloom. Fliccioli. De Graka. Bloom. Dispossessed, but Fliccioli recovers. Gets it to Gallagher. Back to Fliccioli. Tries crossing it in. Bounces it off a player. Gallagher runs it down. Bezger. Back out to Fliccioli. Long cross. Cone steps in front of Twazi. Kunde has it. Rounds the defender. Tackled by Magahalis. Oh, I thought that was a card for sure. Decker. Long bomb towards De Graka. Headed down. Yasser's going to get it. Up to Kunde. Rounds one defender. Rounds the other, but his shot is rushed and it's high and left. Magahalis on the corner kick. Drops it short to Swiderski. Back to Magahalis. Swiderski. Magahalis crosses it in. Bloom is there, but he heads it over the crossbar. Cone to Yasser. Up to Kunde. Dispossessed by Swiderski. Out to Twazi. Takes the shot. Absolutely blasts a cannon of a shot past the keeper. Wow. That was a rocket. Kunde dwelled on the ball. Swiderski dispossessed him. Twazi got it. Made right for the corner. There was no defender in front of him. And just absolutely. I don't know what the keeper was doing. It looked like he was falling down even before Twazi had kicked it. Magahalis short kick to Bloom on the corner. Bloom, Bezger, and he... Oh. High and right. Would have been a great goal if he scored that. Game should be ending here shortly. Leinert. Tassar. Driving forward. Tries crossing it in, knocked away. Bloom has it. He just kicks it out of bounds. And that is the game. And we win 3-0 thanks to a brace of goals by De Graka, an extra time goal by Twazi, and the fact that they had a man down in the 28th minute. Well, they had a man off in the 28th minute. That was well done. Where does that put us? Let us find out. I totally didn't set my training up for this last week. Bayern has clinched the lead. It looks like the highest we can finish is third. That's if we beat Hertha and everybody else loses. Hertha, Eintracht, Hoffenheim. Okay, so we are going to save the game right here real quick, and then we'll be back for our match, last of the season, against enemy of the people, Hertha Berlin, in just a bit. Okay, last game of the season. Mutno's in a contract, but we're not going to make an offer for him. Especially with Steensig on the team, who got called up for the the Youth International by Norway. So we got Decker and goal, Fliccioli, Bezger, Jamelka, and Magahalis as the defensive back four. Gallagher and Skip as the midfielders. Held and Burnett as the attacking midfielders. Burnett is back from injury and doing quite well. De Graka and Mutno up top as the strikers. Standings-wise, we need a victory. Possible if Mainz wins, we're equal goal differential. Nope, we're ahead of Mainz. Scally on the throw-in to Furtado. Back out to Scally. Centers it to Furtado again, top of the box. Hodge tries crossing it in, bounces it off a Kaisersalutern player. Bogart kicks it high. Stark to Scali. Back to Stark. To Scali. Florentino. Dolgopolov to Furtado. Gets it to Hodge. It's knocked away by Magahalis. Burnett driving forward. Centers it to Montano. No help, really. Bounces it off Tornaga and goes out of bounds for the Kaiserslautern throw-in. Oh, I missed that. It was a penalty. I was checking my filter. No, and he scores. Well done. He must have been fouled, and I totally missed it. I thought the tackle had been clean, and that's why the ball went out of bounds. I guess they reviewed it, and it happened inside the box. Burnett, who picked up an injury. Jamelka heads it in for his third goal of the season. What sort of injury did Burnett pick up? Can we get him to the half? Let's find out. Nice header by Jamelka. Well done. Potential knee injury. Okay, they're coming up on half. We'll get him off here. Bring on Twazi. 2-0 up thanks to goals by Montano and Vaclav Jamelka. You get Burnett off, bring on Twazi. But Twazi also doesn't like to be an inside forward, if I recall. He likes to be a winger. I totally skipped the halftime talk. Okay, we'll praise him. Frankfurt and Hoffenheim are both winning. Scali to Franks. Held steps in front of that pass. Banks it up the field. Stark's the only one there. Hertha driving forward into space for Scali. Centers it. Pedro is there. Can't get it. Flikioli knocks it away. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's the highlight. Frankfurt and Hoffenheim playing. Frankfurt playing Union Berlin. Hoffenheim is absolutely destroying Cologne. Magahalis sends it in, but Teme jumps up and grabs that out of the air. Quick pass to Furtado. Gets by the defender. One-on-one with Decker, who comes out, and wow, that was a nice stop by the young keeper. Magahalis up to Tuazi. And this can't be right because... Oh, wait a minute. Hertha was ahead of us. Baji. Gets by Magahalis. And gets it to Furtado, who slots away for the goal. 76 minutes in. You know what? We're not going to watch the highlight. We're going to see what we can do here. Jamelka is going to come off. Dressel is going to come on. So we need Hoffenheim to lose, which I don't think is going to happen. Flikioli to Held. Up to De Graca. Dispossessed, but it goes right to Beschker. He passes up Scally. There, knocks it down. Flikioli gets it to Held. Long cross. Twazi's there. And he scores a nice goal, slotting it past, is it Keme? No, Tuore. Nice long cross by Held. Twazi was right there and just near post the keeper. That's got to be the game. That's an extra time goal. Magahalis Held, and he scores his 10th of the season. I put some double-digit goals, double-digit assists. That was nice. And this is a nice way to end the season in front of the home crowd, defeating enemy of the people, Berlin. Well done, boys. 13 shots, 9 on target. I think we ended up in 6th place. Yep. Qualify for Euro Cup 2. I'm not even quite sure what Euro Cup 2 is. Well, the winner gets $2.8 million, so it's a decent amount of money to be made. $2.8 million for winning the final, $800 for appearing in the semis. What are some of the squads that appeared this year? Val, Desna, Malmo, Feyenoord, Hyperion. Those are some good squads. Atalanta, Brighton, Maribor. Okay. You know what? We're going to save the game here real quick, and then we are going to do our end-of-season review before we click continue and everybody leaves for vacation. Plus, I'm going to show you a couple of youth players. I didn't exactly swipe. I had to pay through the nose. Well, kind of sort of through the nose for one of them, but when you see him, I think you'll understand why. This is John Soriano from St. Pauli. He's a keeper, and he is this good already at 16 years old. Determination is 18 to 20. His teamwork is 13 to 17. His physical is already really, really good. His goalkeeping is already really, really good. And the only thing that's a bit on the low side is the first touch, and you can definitely train that up. His off the ball is kind of middling, but we can definitely work on that. Cost me $10 million now, $10 million payments to get him, but I really think he has a ton of potential. And then this is the other player we brought in. We swiped him from St. Pauli from Osnabrück for 1.7 million euros. This is Nico Schmidt, 15 years old. I want to say he's 1-star current ability, he's 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Physically, he's already pretty good. You know, when a 9 acceleration, 8 balance, and 9 strength are the least are your lowest ones, and you're a 15-year-old for crying out loud. You know, he's got a 16 determination, which is nice. His teamwork, his vision, his decision making, his concentration, his bravery are all really good. I mean, club DNA wise, he fits us really, really well. Crossing and dribbling, first touch, passing are good. Technique of 9. 15 years old. Get some good training in on this kid. He could be set here for years. I keep finding youngsters like this, and part of me says I want to keep playing the save just to see how the youngsters do. But yeah, we're going to send the assistant to the last league conference. I'm going to take a look at the squad here before everybody runs off. Everybody who is here is here. We are going to go by appearances. So Geert Decker leads us, 36 appearances, 1 player of the match, 7.2 rating. As a goalkeeper, did really, really well for us this season, as a full-time starter. 34 appearances, 63 goals allowed, 8 shutouts, 7.21 overall rating. Was okay in the Pokal. I knew we were going to let a lot of goals in. I just also knew he would be growing into the role. I know he's gone up at least a half-star, and he's got plenty of room to go, 4-star potential. I mean, the plan, if I was still playing here, he'd be here another 3 or 4 years, and then Soriano would take over for him. Vaclav Jamelka, our solid defensive center back, 32 appearances, 2 off the bench, 3 goals, 1 assist. Miguel Magalhaes really came on at the end of the season. 32 appearances, 1 goal, 7 assists, 1 player of the match. Lukas Bejer, the other defensive center back, 31 appearances, 1 off the bench, 1 assist, 1 player of the match. Eric Sainch, those are from the B League. Conor Gallagher, 31. You know what? Let me do that here real quick. Conor Gallagher, 30 appearances, 1 off the bench, 4 goals, 5 assists. Florian Held, an all-around good season for the young winger. 29 appearances, 1 off the bench, 10 goals, 11 assists, 3 players of the match. Pedro Pellegrini, I'm not going to say it was an injury-filled campaign, but he missed a decent amount of games. He missed 6. So 26 appearances, 2 off the bench, 21 goals, 9 assists, 4 players of the match. A solid, capable replacement for Goebbels. Louis Montano, 24 appearances, 5 off the bench, 12 goals, 8 assists. Oliver Skip, a solid season in the midfield, 21 appearances, 2 off the bench, 4 goals, 9 assists, a player of the match. Flikioli, solid defensive left back, 2 assists, and a 6.92 overall rating. Marco de Graca, solid up top as a second striker, 17 appearances, 9 off the bench, 14 goals, 1 assist, 3 players of the match. Svirsky was pretty solid in the midfield, but he just kept making some boneheaded mistakes that really caused me to throw my hands up in the air and go, are you kidding me? But 17 appearances, 5 off the bench, 1 goal, 4 assists, a 6.87 rating. Logan Pye was solid. He was kind of lost in the shuffle, but he got a decent amount of starts, a decent amount of games. 16 starts, 5 off the bench, 3 assists. Lucas Burnett, in a half season, really came on. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, our right winger of the future. 13 appearances, 4 off the bench, 7 goals, 6 assists, 2 players of the match. Nabil Tawazi, who, frankly, Burnett's replacing. I may actually move him on, depending on what offers I get for him. 12 appearances, 9 off the bench, 4 goals, 6 assists. Zadas, An okay campaign, considering the limited number of starts he got. 8 starts, 6 off the bench, 2 goals, 2 assists, a player of the match. Dustin Bloom had 2 goals in limited appearances. Scoring-wise, there was a lot to go around. We had 4 players in double digits, and then Lucas Burnett was up there with 7. I suspect if he'd played more this season, he would have gotten a lot more. Assist-wise, it was the Florian Held show. He had 11. Pellegrini had 9. Skip had 9. Mutno had 8. Maga Hollis had 7. Players of the match was really kind of spread out. There was no one standout player. Pellegrini led us with 4. So he had 21 goals, the highest rating of the season. Florian Held 11 assists. Pellegrini most players of the match. And Flickili the 9 yellow cards. League-wise, Bayern clinched. Borussia Dortmund, Eintracht Frankfurt, Hoffenheim round out your top 4. Hertha and us finished 5th and 6th. And Hertha finished ahead of us based on goal differential. Oh well. So we'll get to the end of season stuff here. And then it's going to be the off season. I think 2 more seasons. Probably 15, 16 more episodes. It should be 8 episodes next season because of the European football we're playing. That could go either way. This season only averaged, I want to say, 6 or 7. But I did skip a lot of games early on. You know what? Let's take a look at the loan players real quick. A few players out on loan. Zivkak had a solid campaign. 19 goals, 5 assists, 5 players to match. Mike Krause had a solid campaign. 32 appearances, 5 goals, 4 assists, 2 players of the match. Arjau, okay in limited appearances. He was a January transfer out. Yeri Almeida, not so much. Berger Nygaard had 25 appearances and a 6.78 rating. That's not too bad. And Marco Hen, 16 appearances, 1 assist, 1 player of the match. And a season review. We'll skip the arrivals. Wasn't really a lot. They got an A+ on my transfers. The board wants to avoid relegation. We got 6th. The stadium was 81% full. A solid campaign for us. Our biggest win was in the Pokal against Plauen. They're a semi-pro team. We beat them 8-0. The match to remember was the 6-4 against Schalke. The goal of the season was Pellegrini's in the 6-4 against Schalke. He had 3 of them, though. 2 in the second half. No, I think we're going to skip that. I don't want to go through all that. Sponsorship was the same. Broadcast, I'm not sure what's going on with the broadcast revenue there. Corporate hospitality was down. Competition prize money was up because we placed higher. Matchday commercial retail was down. Merchandise sales were okay. We did rotate the team a fair amount this season. Pellegrini, player of the season. Decker, young player of the year. Pellegrini, signing of the season and the goal of the season. And the 27.2 for goals is the highest transfer for the club. On the best 11. Looks like Ducouré. No, he's still out there. He wasn't picked up. Lucas Roster retired. Tim Reeder retired. Marlon Ritter also retired. Spalvis is at Perth now. Yeah, that's just an aberration. 38 goals in 35 games. But frankly, without him, we wouldn't have ended up where we are. Season review. Well, we already looked at that. So our defense was busy and impenetrable. Our offense was attacking and clinical. Our XG was 63.4. We scored 80. Our expected points were 50. We got 60. Our expected position was 9th. We got 6th. We did well in almost every category exceeding the league. Visions and expectations. Entertaining, attacking, counterattacking soccer. Sign players from the lower... The lower levels of the domestic league are just not good. End of season team meeting. Next season. Mid-table. They're disappointed. I do have a couple promises issued for players on contracts. I will have to look that up after we end the episode here. Season injury report. Burnett was out for 2 months. Jose Jesus out for 3 months. Pellegrini's out, well, more than 3 weeks, but his longest injury was the 3 weeks. Stacky was out 3 weeks with a torn hamstring. Twice was out 3 weeks, twisted ankle. A lot of niggling injuries that kind of added up. Training camp destination. Okay, I'm going to switch over here real quick. Austria, Italy, Switzerland. You know what? We'll go to St. Gallen and Switzerland. Can play some Swiss teams. And the initial budget's $1.3 million payroll and the transfer budget of $53.9, which is actually really nice because we're only spending. Well, this says our current payroll is 1.3. We're only spending $653. And player-wise, it's one of the things I wanted to look at too. Bangura, Felicioli, Soro. They'll be leaving. Jamelka, I might trade. It depends on who's coming after him. Ranieri, I might trade depending on who's coming after him. Next season is going to be interesting because we're going to be switching out from a lot of these older players to give a lot of these youth players more playing time. But it's one of those cases where I also don't want to decimate the team and leave the cupboard completely empty should we go through an injury issue or something like that. So, but I suspect when all is said and done next season, when the season starts, if Drews is still on the team, he will probably be the oldest player. Although, Gallagher or Skip might too. Depends on how the offseason goes. The offseason could be really busy. So, a solid season for us. I was aiming for European football, and we got European football. Now, it may not be the best European football, but you know what? Euro Cup 2, I will take. It's additional games. It's additional experience for the boys. It's additional prize money. I can't complain about that in the least. So, a solid season, and we're going to do it again next year. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments. Leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM Jellicoe, and I thank you for watching.